Welcome to the Zaxby's pregame show.
To the NFHS Game of the Week. We are here in Lee County at Southern Lee High School. Coming to visit are the Scotland Fighting Scots. I am joined with Coach Jason Trousdale with the Union Pines Vikings. Coach Trousdale, you guys have a bye week this week, so thank you so much for joining us. And I'm pretty sure you're happy to have a bye week on a weeknight where we're having a monsoon come through.
We were excited about having a bye after playing Lee County,
And I will say congratulations on that victory against Lee County, and we'll have the Lee County game at the end of this season. That will be our homecoming game, senior night. But for tonight's game, we have a couple of keys to the game. So Southern Lee comes in, Coach Trousdale, with a record of 3-2. They started out really strong with a 3-0 record, and they've dropped their last two. And so tonight is a critical game for them. However, unfortunately for them, they have the 5-0 undefeated Scotland County Fighting Scots coming in to take them on tonight. So we'll see. So quarterback Sims is going to need to have a really good night, but we're going to really be looking out for Tyrese Douglas, who averages 168 yards per game. So Tyrese Douglas, be on the lookout for that young man. He also has a total of 12 touchdowns this year, Tyrese Douglas. So the player to keep an eye on for this game for Southern Lee is going to be Tyrese Douglas. And, Coach, you have some thoughts with Scotland?
Well, Scotland is a heavy dominant run team. Zay Jones is their back. He averaged 191 yards per game. I think he has 14 touchdowns on the season. They're going to try to be a team to run the ball first, but they will also throw it. So with the elements of the weather a little bit windy, that could play for Southern Lee's benefits.
Sounds good. Well, we're going to take a quick break because tonight is Military Appreciation. We're also playing the National Anthem right now. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the field. Southern Lee versus Scotland.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with the caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's. Zaxby's new Philly. The garlic aioli, grilled peppers and onions with melty cheese make it a Philly. But the chicken makes it Zaxby's. Try it fried or grilled. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Got the National Anthem going here. All right, Coach Trousdale, we are here live in Lee County at Southern Lee High School, home of the Cavaliers, and we are having an early kickoff tonight, Coach, because of this big storm that's coming through the area. Should expect some rain around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Great job by the Southern Lee Cavalier Marching Band there performing the National Anthem for us tonight. So I can see there we have our captains on the field for Southern Lee. We have the injured Matt Kidd, who is expected to return the second to the last game of the season. He has a broken wrist. He injured that, I believe, in the second game of the season. Also, co-captains tonight, also number 69, Big Caleb Waters, and then also number 8, we mentioned him in pregame. That would be Tyrese Douglas, and then number 72 is also a co-captain tonight, and that would be Malik Sumter, I believe. So with that being said, the captains are going to midfield to meet Coach Trousdale. Tell us a little bit about your experience with both of these clubs. You've been the head coach now at Union Pines for several years. What's your experience been competing against both these squads, and what do you expect to see tonight?
Well, I'll start with Scotland, because we're playing them next week. We actually only played them 1 year because the first year that I was the head coach, they had a ton of guys with COVID. They let us know on Wednesday that they wouldn't be able to play us, so we had to pick up another game. So we didn't play them my first year as the head coach in the new conference. We played them last year. They're a very physical football team. They're usually knocking on the door in the state title year after year. Coach Bailey's had a ton of success there, tremendous coach. Obviously has a tremendous amount of athletes. Their offensive line is as good as advertised. A ton of guys strong. They average about 275, 280 on the offensive line, and they don't run a ton of plays, but they run them effectively.
So when you are coming into a matchup like this, as we said, Southern Lee starts the year off. You know, the good thing about the season thus far for Southern Lee is that they have beat the teams they should have beat. If you look on paper, the physicality of it all, they beat the teams they should have beat. But the last two games have been somewhat competitive at times, but also somewhat kind of getting out of hand at other times. Tonight is almost similar to the way it was last week versus Richmond, a very tough, talented, lots of history. I believe they've got maybe 30-some players that have played in the NFL there at Richmond. I mean, just historical. Scotland, very similar, a lot of history there. So tonight at home, Southern Lee Military Appreciation Night. In order for Southern Lee to stay competitive in this matchup, what would you be at this, in the pregame, what would you be telling your kids if they're coming in, they know they can see the other side. They know these other kids are coming in undefeated. What are you telling your kids to give them that confidence that they need to come in and compete early?
Well, I think it is important that you do well. You do play well early. Football's an easy game. It comes down to blocking, tackling, and taking care of the football. If Southern Lee can take care of the football, not give extra possessions to Scotland, they'll have a chance in this game. You also got to steal a couple possessions too, as well. As when you're playing against an opponent that has the size and stature that Scotland has, you got to have a couple. You got to win a turnover battle. You got to be +2. I mean, that's our goal next week is when we play them. We got to be at least +2 if we're going to have a chance to win a game. So similar to Southern Lee, I'm aware. I watched a little bit of film on Southern Lee early on. They played Western Harnett, so we had to play them. So they're a much better football team. Each year they've gotten a little bit better. So I expect it to be a good football game tonight. Obviously the numbers as far as size-wise will favor Scotland, but you can't measure the size of a heart. So I expect Southern Lee to come out and play a good football game tonight.
Well, I appreciate that. We are so privileged to be here tonight with you, Coach Trousdale, because not every night do we get to actually call a game with a current head coach, not only head coach, but also a head coach in this here conference. And so it's going to be great having you with us tonight. Thank you again for volunteering your time to be out here this evening with us. And you had mentioned a couple of things about staying competitive early. There's a couple of things that might be a factor in that. Number one is the weather. And who is that going to affect? As a head coach, when you know weather is going to be a factor in a ball game, does that typically affect the better, more qualified team, or does it typically affect the team that is maybe a 10 or 15-point underdog?
Well, I would say that here's what I would tell you. Scotland is a shotgun team. They never go under center. I ain't seen it at least. So the fact that Southern Lee can do both, they're under center primarily, I think that gives them a little bit of an advantage because of the fact that if you have some wind and whatnot, not going to be able. The ball is not going to be snapped as clean as it would be in a regular clear day. So I think advantage goes to Southern Lee on that. So being under center can definitely help them out.
Well, it looks like, thanks for that, Coach, it looks like that Scotland won the toss and they have deferred, and therefore Southern Lee will be getting the opening kickoff. And back deep for Southern Lee is Tyrese Douglas.
And Tyrese is 167-yard average as far as per game running the ball. So it looks like Southern Lee has 5-3, and then the two fullbacks as well as Tyrese back deep. So
yeah, Tyrese averaging about 167 yards a game. Johnny Jones is the second on the squad for running 68 yards per game, and Robbie scrambles for about 24 yards per game as the Southern quarterback. Now, kickoff was scheduled for 6:30. It's a few minutes prior to. Again, these folks are trying to get this game in. As we all know, that weather is coming in. And if you're a football fan, sometimes you enjoy the weather if you're watching it at home in your comfortable sofa or recliner, and you don't have to bear the elements of the game, or if you're in the presser like we are. But if you're out in the stands, not so very much. But we're waiting here for the kickoff, and that is going to be number 82 for Scotland.
It's number 82, Cameron Cole. We've noticed that he's kicked the ball to 10, but he does have some wind. I don't know if the wind's at his back.
Looks like it is at his back, but he is going to
punch that. It's going to go
not quite out of bounds, but boy, that almost was a mistake.
Just inside the 20, and he runs it up to about the 20, I want to say 24, 25-yard line.
Yep, so Southern Lee will start 1st and 10 at the 25.
I look for Southern Lee to come out in an I formation with a tight end, regular 1990s pro-style offense. And watch they'll come out in something else. That's an I backfield with the slot receiver here, so it'd be an I ray for us. And Scotland's in a 3-3 stack with a cover 3 look behind it. Option pitch. Scotland's all over that. Number 9.
Yeah, that was a pitch to Tyrese Douglas, losing a few yards on that play.
Keyshawn McQueen, Scotland's outside linebacker, 6'3", 200 pounds, was all over that.
Yeah, read that beautifully. Loss of about 4 yards, so that'll bring about 2nd and 14 on the play. Not the start that Southern was looking for, but it's only 2nd down. We'll see.
2nd down, and I backfield again, and a slot to the left. Just a regular old ISO play here. Douglas is fighting. He got about 4 yards on that play. Still fighting for extra yards.
Looks like he got it back to the line of scrimmage. Coach, how important is schematics on blocking when you are a run-heavy team? How much does the running back really count on those blockers to make the right call and block for him up front?
Yeah, and depending on the play, you know, you're reading the back of the offensive lineman. If he's down blocking, then we're going to run it outside. If he's blocking outside, you're going to run it inside. It's whether it's gap scheme or zone scheme. You're leading up through the hole, and you're making a determination usually by the 3rd step if you're going to cut it up or continue to go outside.
So Douglas is out, and in is Johnny Jones, who again averages about 70 yards a game.
And it's 3rd and 10 here. And this ball looked like it'd be batted down by, I think, number
90. I think
number 90 for Scotland, Dylan Tilson.
So Southern Lee comes out 3 and out to start the game, and they're going to bring on their punter now. Typically, their punter is Caleb Waters, and yes, he is back out there tonight. So big number 69, Caleb Waters, is out now as their punter. He was out with an injury, ankle injury against Richmond, but is back tonight.
It's nice to see him back and healthy. Looks like the punt's going to drop, and no return, but it's going to be about 5 or 6 yards in that.
Yep, that's going to be Scotland's going to start 1st down and 10 in Cavalier territory on the Cavalier 30. With that, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Oh, man, not the start you wanted, huh? Hey, Marshall, do you need that open? Can we close it? Because we're getting feedback. Plus, it might help you when you're talking.
We got Scotland here in stacked formation, wide receivers to the right. They run with the H back here, offset to the right as well.
Coach, it looks like the wind is blowing about 10 to 12 yards. Or 10 to, are we still at commercial wind? Oh. 10 to 12 miles per hour. Looks like it's headed about northeast. So the wind is going to continue to pick up. And here we go.
And that is Zay Jones. They're in for the touchdown, 30 yards, just a regular old power play. Touchdown. Sealed off the edge well, and he went in untouched for 30.
Okay, so Scotland goes up 6-0 here early. As a head coach, what are you telling your kids at this point? We had the pregame, we're all pumped up, we're ready to go, and then all of a sudden you go 3 and out, and then they come in first drive of the game, they go and score touchdown. What are you telling the kids on the sideline to get them motivated and pumped back up to get back out there and play?
Well, I'll say, guys, it's only 6-0. There's 10 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first quarter, so a ton of game left. It'd be nonsense to say anything less than that.
Very good. Kick is good. So with 10 minutes, 11 seconds to go, it is 7-0 Scotland, just like that. And again, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with kickoff. Okay, so we're just going to stay live?
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. Okay, just let us know when we have a hot mic. We'll be ready whenever. What, Tim? Yeah, well, if we can't run commercials, we don't get paid.
That's nice.
Strike, Hollywood strike. Marshall, you're doing great, cuz. That was a great intro, Marshall. Okay, Wynn, we can be back now. All right, so we are back here having a few little technical difficulties with the commercials, but we'll get that fixed up here in a minute. So it is 7-0 Scotland over Southern Lee, just over 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter. So I'm going to, after this kickoff, I'm going to propose a question to you, Coach Trousdale,
okay.
Which I proposed to Mr. Nate Cochran last week during the Union Pines randoming game, and I'll propose that to you in just a few minutes.
He's going to kick it. Tyree's going to field it about just inside his 10. Coming out with a good self-esteem there. Wow, he's really running hard. He's a tough kid.
Yeah, he is a tough kid.
37-yard line, I think. He took it straight back. He just took it straight up the middle. It was a really good return.
Very good return, and you can see why he averages so many yards per game. Those are all-purpose yards. The 163 are all-purpose yards. So, so therefore, Southern Lee is going to start first down and 10 on their own, 43, 42?
Yeah, I think 37.
I'm sorry, 37, yeah.
They're in the I backfield again with slot to the left. Next receiver here out here alone. Scotland's in the cover 3.
All right, so as they're wrapping him up with no gain on the play. So they have built a brand new subdivision behind the stadium at Union Pines. And as you know, on Thursday and Friday nights, it's loud at Union Pines.
It is.
And the one thing that I always praise Union Pines about is for years and years and years they have had such wonderful community support from businesses to fans to parents. They have a phenomenal band. They've always had a great band there, great football program. As it's going to now be Johnny Jones on the carry.
Good carry there. It's going to be close to the first down depending on the spot. It's going to be either 3rd and 1 or it'll be first.
Looks like they might.
3rd and 1, it looks like.
Yep, mark them just short. So with that being said, you purchase a house out there, and it's super loud, and you've got a young family, and you've got young kids, and you've got an infant that you're trying to put to sleep. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Nate, because Nate was once an athletic director, and I asked him, I said, as an athletic director, if you had a young mother come to you as an AD complaining about the noise on Friday nights, what would you tell her? So after this play, I'll get your answer.
Just toss sweep
here.
Looks like Tyrese fumbled the football.
And that's going to be a turnover.
It's going to be Scotland's football. Yep, at the 43-yard line, Scotland, of Southern Lee's territory.
So what would you tell this young man?
Well, me now or me 20 years ago?
Both.
Me 20 years ago, I would have said, well.
We're on TV now.
You are across the street from a high school, football stadium.
Wait,
but
which was there first?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Would you turn the volume down?
I've actually requested that while we're on offense because I think it's a little bit too much. But that's, everybody's excited about. There's 2
plays, 2 touchdowns, Coach.
Zay Jones is a scary guy.
2 plays, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What do you
it's only 8:25 in the first quarter.
Same play though. Same play.
I'm well aware it looked like the same play. I think at the end of the day, it's just. You obviously build your kids up. You're just like, hey, guys, it is 8:25 in the first quarter. All we need is one big play, and we're back in the football game. Just one play. That's all.
It. And you can't listen when you have a team that is more talented, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're more athletic. The last thing you can do, Coach, is give them the ball back. And when you turn it over, and you're already a 15-point underdog.
Yeah, it is tough to overcome. I will say though, last week we were down 13-0 against Lee County, and then we scored 27 unanswered. So
well, and then at Richmond County, Southern Lee was up 13-0, and then Richmond County came back and won that game 55-13. So, sometimes a kick in the shin is not necessarily a bad thing. No. So you would tell that young mother, I apologize, but you did purchase a house across from a high school football stadium. I mean, common sense, you did.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't maybe use those kind of words with her.
Well, I tell you, Coach Nate Cochran said that he would basically just gift wrap her a can of melatonin and tell her to go relax.
Well, and that is that is a good idea, actually. I mean, melatonin will knock you out.
But, I mean, honest to goodness, when they built that neighborhood, I'm thinking, oh, my, what would someone think buying a house right there?
That is tough.
I mean, not only the noise, but just the traffic of the high school itself.
That's exactly right. Lights coming in.
Not
just for football games, but other sports play there. We got soccer and lacrosse.
That's right. Exactly.
Track. I mean, you name it.
All the buses coming in and out.
Right.
Crazy.
So.
All right. So no rain yet. It's just 6:38, so just over 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Scotland is up 14-0. Kickoff.
There's a short kick there. Looks to be going out of bounds, so they can opt to get the ball at the 35 or move them back 5 yards and have them re-kick. I'd take the ball at the 35.
Exactly. That's what I would do as well. Looks like that's what they're going to do. So that was Johnny Jones, I believe, on the last possession that coughed the ball up. Okay. And so I think at this point, you tell me, you're the head coach, but do you give it right back to Johnny Jones just to build his confidence and say, we believe in you, get it, now get it for us, go?
Yeah, I mean, I think Johnny had the 9-yard game the play before. So, yeah, I'd say just hang on the ball. You got it. Just hang on the football. You're good.
He is in the backfield. Johnny Jones, Robbie Sims, under center.
That's a tough run there. He got about 5 yards there.
Yes, he did. That was tackle number 30. And who is that, Coach?
Number 30 on the play for Scotland is Zion Morrison.
Zion Morrison.
6'4", 195.
Yeah, 6'4", nice size, 195. Looks
like we got a Southern League player down there.
We do. And Johnny Jones did carry that young man for about 5 yards. So I'm assuming we're going to keep it here. Okay. And so, so we do have an injury there on the field. All right, so we don't normally call out injury names, so we'll be hush-hush on that. So Military Appreciation Night tonight at Southern Lee High School. Honored the military early. We had talked about early before we came on the air about the paratroopers that you guys have and how many coaches you have on your staff that are in the military currently. How important is having coaches that are in the military or retired military to instill that discipline on your team, Coach?
Well, I think this year it's been very important. We've got Coach Davis, who still serves us, and bless him, and bless our U.S. Army, all our Air Force and Marines, for all the service that they do for our country. We've got Coach Clark as well. And then we have Coach Pizzarella and Coach Brooks. All four of those guys are very important parts of our program. So excited to have those guys on our staff.
Great job giving those young coaches shout-outs. 2nd and 5.
A little play action. And guys wide open here in flat. Number 3 for Southern Lee.
Oh, yes.
That's a big play there.
That's what they need, Coach. Nice, very nice. That's Mike Blanks. That is the head coach's son. Mike Blanks, great pass. Robbie Sims, great catch. And that is a Cavalier first down, their first down of the night.
Hey, and that's a big one. They got the ball at the 33 of Scotland's territory. I mean, that's a great throw and catch. Great throw by Sims and great catch.
And I will tell you, as the Cavaliers are marching left to right, the wind is in their face. And so if you get up close to where you feel as if your kicker is in range, Brian McCullum, the McCullum name is very famous here at Southern. Lots of great kickers here with the McCullum name.
That's a pretty good play there. You're running a dive there, and you're getting a little over 4 yards on a dive.
Definitely.
That's a lot. 2nd and 6 is a good down and distance for a coach.
So, again, 2nd down and 6, but, again, the wind is absolutely in their face, probably about 12 to 13 miles per hour. And so Brian McCullum is a junior kicker here for Southern Lee. And the McCullum name, again, Freddie McCullum, Richard McCullum, they all kicked here. Very, very talented, a lot of school records. But you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
There's Johnny Jones.
Yeah, anytime you're inside the 30, you're always obviously thinking touchdowns, but if you get bogged down in 4th down, and you have a kicker that can kick the ball between 40 and 50 yards, that's obviously a huge weapon for you.
I know I was calling a game here when Richard McCullum, his senior year, and I think his record was 51 yards.
Wow.
But he is a 5th-year senior now at Western Carolina and has set many records there at Western Carolina for the Catamounts. And so it is definitely an important aspect of any football team. Let me ask you this, Coach. Boys soccer. Now, I want to talk to you about one thing in a minute, chase a rabbit. But before I do that, boys soccer plays in the fall, and football obviously is a fall sport. Can you have a dual sport athlete play 2 different sports the same time of the season? So do you have soccer players playing for you right now?
We do not, but we have in the past. My first 2 years, we had a kicker that played soccer, so yes.
Okay.
We do allow that.
So you do allow it. And now, is that a school decision, an AD decision, or is that just allowed throughout the state?
It's a little bit of both as far as I think it's allowed throughout the state. It depends on your program. Our athletic director is tremendous, Coach Chad Hill. He's obviously been doing it for a little while. But, yeah, we don't want to deter any kid, especially if he can help us on the field and off the field. So the last 2 years we've had a kicker that's played soccer. This past year we weren't so fortunate, but our kicking game's actually in pretty good shape.
Yes, I agree it is. And, that's one of the things that I noticed, not only just dual sport soccer and football, but, Coach, you guys have a dadgum band player on your football team.
Yeah,
I noticed
we
last
actually
week.
have a couple of the guys that are in the band, and they ask, hey, Coach, can I go out for halftime? I mean, we're at the day. I mean, where
we noticed that. We've noticed that.
So if it's important to him, you got to make sure he understands that.
Yep. Well, they went for it on 4th down and 2, Coach. It looks like they might be just short, so it looks like it could be a turnover and downs, which it is.
Yeah.
Which it is.
4th down run, just short of a 1st down.
So Scotland's going to take over at about the 24, I believe.
On their own, 24-yard line.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's see if Southern Lee can get a stop here.
So Scotland's got their backup tailback in the game here. So
And they did. They had a good stop by a host of Cavaliers there, so that's good news for the Cavs.
number 20, Kareem Hasty. He's their second leading rusher. He's in the game. Southern Lee did a really nice job stuffing it there. I think it's 2nd and 10.
Yes, no gain on the play. Jamari Hall checking in for the Cavs.
Scotland's in a H-ray here formation. They have the H back to the right and the 2 receivers to the right and X receiver back here alone. Well, they got a ton of speed on the perimeter as well.
Yes, single coverage. And there's the pass.
They got a little RPO action.
Oh, incomplete, but
Pass, incomplete.
all right, so no flag.
No yellow laundry on the field.
And it's always good to see. Honestly, I'm a big fan of football. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of letting them play. Now, when it's blatant, throw the flag. But if it's ticky-tack, keep it in your pocket.
Well,
nobody wants to see the referee decide a game, right?
No, it's true. But at the end of the day, I mean, the officials are just it's a tough job. Like, they're not welcome, as far as the fans go. It's like coaching. I mean, so, like, you try to treat the officials as good as you can because, you want them to do a good job. And so try to support them just like they support you. Here, 3rd down. looks deep, and he's out of play. It's they got to stop.
Yeah, they got to stop. So definitely 3 and out for Scotland, the Fighting Scots. So suddenly did get a nice stop there. First play was no gain on the play. Second play went
They tried an RPO and throw it out there to their ex-receiver, and the corner made a nice play on the ball.
That's exactly right. And then there on third down was a long pass, vertical pass, that went incomplete out of bounds.
I think that Scotland's personal protectors are their starting offensive linemen. I noticed that in film earlier. They're very large. The good thing about that is if you can hold a few of the guys up, you can get a return.
Fair catch. I believe that is number 6, Brett Blanks.
That'll be something we're going to take a look at next week.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, yeah, this is actually, I mean, it is what it is. It's a great opportunity for you to be able to see and actually think and coach. You could sit there all day long and watch a game on tape, or you could watch a game live. But when you're actually talking through it with someone else, it actually can bring up some points that you may not otherwise think about. But I will say, on the team, Coach Fred Blanks has 3 sons on this team.
I saw that. That's nice.
And they're all very, very good athletes. So Johnny Jones.
Little counter tray there. The guard and tackle both pulled the counter there and got about a yard. I did notice that Southern Leeds has some really good size as well up front, too. Obviously, the depth is a little bit different than what you would have at Scotland.
Yes, very true. And, again, we had talked about this before we had our headsets on, and that was that, we are on the tail end of rebuilding. We're Southern League is 3-2.
Yeah.
0-1 in the conference, but 3-2 overall. And last year, they've tripled all the wins they had last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only win they had last year was against the Tornadoes of Fairmont. Now, have you guys ever played Fairmont?
We have not. We hadn't looked into playing them.
Yeah, it's the last couple of times. We played them last year. We beat them. That was our only, the Southern League's only victory. And then this year we came away with the victory here at home. But every single time there's multiple ejections during that game. There just seems to be a non-conference rivalry for some reason. Just I believe Fairmont's a smaller 2A school, if I'm not mistaken, but just a big non-conference rivalry built up.
Well, and I think, too, Coach Cox, who was here as Southern League OC, was also at
that has a lot to do with
as
it.
a player, and then he went back as a coach.
That may have a lot to do with it. So hobbling off is big 69 Caleb Waters, one of the co-captains of the game. And, again, I had mentioned earlier that he is our punter. And now, as you can see, he is not punting, and our kicker, Brian McCullum, is out now to punt. And so we'll see if we can get a better than an 8-yard net punt versus the one we did previously from good old Nate McCullum. And running off the field for the Cavaliers is number 26, checking out Tommy Lineberry. Tommy Lineberry is a big superstar on our JV squad. Very tough young man.
That's a good punt there. It's tough to get it up in this wind, though, like you talked about the 12-mile-an-hour winds.
Again, about a 12 to 15 mile per hour wind, literally in your face as you're punting. So the first quarter is winding down, and they'll have a chance to go with the wind in the second quarter. So again, it's critical here not to let this get away from you. They had a really nice stop, should be a huge confidence booster. So they had a really nice stop on Scotland's previous possession. So now Scotland has it at their own 32. And, it's going to be very important for Southern League to keep them in Scotland territory so that whenever they do kick off, Southern League won't be pinned too deep. That's theory.
Right. It's just running fake the power, and then run an RPO to the slot receiver there. Just a stop route, number 4.
Tackle made by number 21, I believe was number 20. Or number 12, sorry, yeah. Tackle made by number 12, which is Avery Harrington.
And that was Quatavius Everett for Scotland, and the wide receiver that caught that RPO. They got their backup, number 20, Kareem Hasties, still in the ballgame. Second series in a row he's been in.
Nice run on the play. So, yeah, we do have an injury timeout. I guess we'll keep it right here. Okay, all right. So free big.
First down.
No, you're good. Yeah. So third and a country mile here, Coach. What do you draw up?
Well, they're thinking screen, so maybe draw, or just try to heave it like they're doing right here. Maybe they'll get an interception. It's better than a punt.
And, I'm not sure maybe that's what that young man was thinking, number 9, Keyshawn McQueen.
Keyshawn McQueen. He is a stud.
Yep, but he looks like he could have caught that, but he pulled back a little bit, maybe thinking that the punt might be better versus actually getting an interception. But it's hard for me to believe that a young man in high school is going to think about 10 or 15 yards. I think he might want to try to get that pick.
Without question, if it's fourth down, you don't go for it. You don't intercept it when you're getting the ball there. But third down, depending on the wind, you could potentially block this kick here, or you're setting yourself up probably inside the 50.
So on the kick is Richard McCullum. A nice punt. Takes a suddenly
Very
bounce.
nice bounce.
But it is going to be fielded. He
Deshaun
slips.
Gibson is a very good athlete. This kid can run. There's a block.
And we have 2 flags.
This play's coming back.
Yep.
There was actually 2 really blindside block looked to be. And the officials do a great job of cleaning that up because that's within the last X amount of years, probably 5-6 years, that they've really took a hard look at the blindside block. Especially happens on punt returns or interception returns. It happens a lot.
Well, I had a friendly disagreement with Coach Nate Cochran last week when we were discussing blocking the back and blindside block. And for me, I'm a spectator first, right? So he being a coach, you being a coach, I'm a spectator. My thoughts are 2 of the dumbest penalties is 1, blocking the back. I mean, if someone's face is not – if you're not looking at someone in the face, why are you going to hit him in the back of the numbers, number 1. Number 2 is the false start. And I mean, how many times in your whole entire football career have you been taught to look at the ball, watch the ball on the snap? So what are your thoughts? Do you forgive kids for false start penalties? Do you forgive kids for blocks in the back? I mean, to me, those are commonsensical penalties. And like the horse collar, I mean, all of these things. You know you're not supposed to do it. Are you trying to get away with it?
Well, you forgive them for it, but you don't forget that they did it. So, I mean, that could affect your playing time.
Especially if there's multiple infractions.
Exactly. Well, they ran a tight bunch right here, and then just ran not GT, but GH counter there again. They love that. And it's their tailback, Kareem Hasty again. Their backup tailbacks in the game there.
Back in the game for the Cavaliers is number 69, Caleb Waters. So we'll see if he's going to regain the ping duties as well. He plays both sides of the ball and special teams.
It's good to see him back in. Suddenly looks to be in. Looks like they're looking in. It's a cover 3. Safety's way deep there.
Incomplete.
That's really good coverage out there in the corner. I don't know what number that is.
Caleb Waters is a senior. He plays offensive tackle, defensive tackle, tight end, punter. He's 6'4", 270.
He's a big kid.
Big kid, and for him, and he's a multi-athlete. He plays basketball and baseball.
Wow. He's very strong. He's a really good run blocker as well. I noticed in film early on him. It's Hasty and on a carrier. Pick up about 6 and Scotland first down.
First down on the carry.
So Justin Cleary, number 15 for the Cavaliers, is still out. He has got his uniform off. He has done a full Antonio Brown and taken his uniform off and walking down the track. But I don't think it's an attitude. I think he's just injured. So he's got ice on his clavicle and looks like he's headed to the locker room. So we'll get an update on Mr. Cleary.
Hopefully he's okay.
Yep. So as a head coach, have you had to ever deal with people like Antonio Brown that just are cancerous to the team? And if so, how as a head coach, how do you – because we all know as nice tackle there by Southern Lee, number 12, Avery Harrington. But, I mean, sometimes you have parents who know their kid has, attitude adjustment issues. And so they say, go take your anger out on the football field and go play football and knock people around. And they're not disciplined at home. And how do you handle that? Do you put that off on your assistant coaches? Do you trust the parents to fix the situation? Are they just as much as a problem as the kid? And how do you politically correct manage those issues when they come?
Well, I think it's you said it first. We can't control what goes on at the house. We got to understand that they're still kids, they're children. So try to give them every chance you can. But there's also got to be an accountability. We're struggling that as a nation. more than just on the football field, but that's all over the place. So, so that's one thing. Have you had issues? I'm coaching for 20-some years. I've had a few. You just try to – each situation is a little bit different than the next, and you just try to tell the kid, you know, you're there and we support you.
Great catch, but we do have a flag.
Looks like a penalty on Holden. You got a personal foul maybe?
Two flags actually on the play there, Coach.
But so I mean, again, each situation's different. But you know, you got to try to love the kid again because you have no idea
what's going on at home.
None.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. And I know, as I've coached my days, never at the level of high school. I've always coached smaller kids, but I don't think it ever changes with parents. And sometimes you can have the most supportive parents in the world, but sometimes you have parents who's, who thinks their kid is the next Joe Montana or Tom Brady, and and that's fine. You love your kid, you support your kid, but at the same time, you'd mentioned how many do you guys dress?
So on our varsity, we dress a little over 40, and on our JVs for home games, we'll have close to 70 kids.
And only 11 can be on the field at any given time. So that's the 80% of your players and 80% of your parents aren't seeing their kids out there play.
Yeah, so we try to do a good job of rotating the guys. Fortunately, our JV program, with the numbers we have multiple guys only play one side of the ball. We're fortunately we're not as fortunate at the varsity level, but they weren't ready to be moved up to varsity as well either.
Well, that was actually my pregame piece of the game earlier, and that was last week against Randleman UP, and that was one of the things that I had mentioned to Nate was that in a game like that, if you have guys that are playing both sides of the ball, it's very important whenever you have heat. Last week it was hot, and it's been hot this year, and you have to tell these kids to hydrate. But by the time they get to the third and fourth quarter, you're going to see a lot of cramping.
Sure.
And if they're playing both sides of the ball, and so, oftentimes for a lesser talented team that's playing both sides of the ball, hydration is super critical, especially if they're again, if they're going into third and fourth quarter already down by 1 or 2 or 3 scores. And, again, Scotland runs for another first down here.
Yeah,
and
just a wide zone play. The tailback did a nice job getting on the perimeter. There wasn't too much pressure there.
And I will have to mention some of our sponsors. I know we've had some issues with our commercials, and I have not done very well on the promotions, but that is going to be a Scotland Shed Depot first down. So we're thankful for Shed Depot. We've also been in the red zone a few times. Scotland has been in the Remax red zone several times, and looks like they are going to be in the red zone again. So that is a Remax red zone, second down for Scotland, going left to right with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second.
Yeah, and that's Hasty again on the carry. Same play, just running it to the side of the field.
And what's that young man averaging per game?
Mr. Hasty is averaging 61 yards, rushing yards per game. This is rushing, so he's a formidable backup for sure.
Nice to have a backup that averages good yardage, multi-purpose, and that's a touchdown for Scotland.
He's got good hips.
So we're going to take that touchdown. No rain yet, no weather yet, but it's still a little bit early. But we'll see if the rain can hold up and we can maybe finish out this game. But we are going to check with my producer, and we are going to maybe take our first commercial timeout of the night. Yep, we are.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC.
We're back here at Cavalier Stadium. It's 21-0, 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Scotland is driving.
Which the previous touchdown was called back. It looked like that it was illegal motion perhaps on Scotland, so it is now third down 8.
Yep, so the scoreboard
critical stop
on the TV is wrong, and it's 21-0. But it just changed. It was just changed.
Looks like he may be short. Fourth and about 1 to go.
It's going to be about 4th and 1. Again, that's looks to be hasty on a carry. Yep, he's going to actually run up to bring it on their tailback, starting tailback, Zay Jones.
Let's talk about this for a second. So how much longer – well, let's first watch the play, and let's see. And then I'll propose my question.
There it is, GH counter to Jones. He's got really good feet. He's very shifty.
That is another Shed Depot first down. So my question is, Coach, A, do you like it? B, how much longer do you think it would be legal in the NFL? And that is the quarterback sneak push.
Do I like it? I do.
Hard to stop.
Yeah, it is hard. And we actually run a QB sneak if we don't do it with the push. But, I mean, I look at it this way, we know the snap count and the defense doesn't. So you have an opportunity, if you have a big, strong quarterback, to get 1 or 2 yards. I mean, you should be. Our game-winning touchdown in Slee was a quarterback sneak, so in overtime.
Was it a push?
No.
I love the quarterback sneak, but when you bring
we didn't push. No.
Okay. Now
Aiden runner or nothing.
it was reviewed this year. They decided to keep it. They're talking about reviewing again next year. Do you think that they'll outlaw the push? I think it has about a 96% success rate, and that's one thing is the reason why they're looking at reviewing it.
So I don't know. Are they trying to you talking about reviewing pushing the
quarterback sneak is fine, but the actual
push the quarterback.
Yeah, where you have.
I mean, that shouldn't be allowed. It's not allowed here. It's actually aiding the runner when you push the.
Okay, so it is illegal in high school.
It is illegal to aid a runner. You cannot push a runner you cannot.
Really, even before the whistle.
Right, it's called aiding the runner. It's a penalty.
How about that?
Push the pile, not the runner. But if you aid the runner, it's a penalty.
I see. Yeah, okay. You can push the pile. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So you can have forward progress pushing the pile.
Yeah.
But if you take a runner and you're literally dragging them, then that's what – okay. And technically that's what you're doing on a quarterback sneak if you're pushing. You're pushing the runner. It's not a pile. You're pushing the runner. And
we don't do that, but
– But technically that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that.
That's what the NFL does.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. Yeah. So
that I don't like.
Yeah. 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go before halftime. Unfortunately for Southern Lee, the home squad, it is a 28-0 deficit. And as we know, if it is 42, then we go to a running clock, regardless of what happens subsequent. Now, if you're up 28-0, do you ever, Coach, is this a rule of thumb with you, or is it a rule of thumb amongst your coaching brothers? But if you're up big in the first half, do you ever put your subs in the first half, or do you wait till the second half before you start putting in your reserves?
I've never been fortunate enough to start the reserves in the free fall in the second quarter. So you want to be able to get your guys, your ones and twos, a ton of playing time now too, because think about it. If you're a team later in the season, you got to still be able to build on your games. You still got to get game ready. Once you're in the third quarter, maybe that first drive of the third quarter, you start subbing people out.
Good. Okay. Third quarter. All right. 1st and 10, Southern. And it looks like that is Tyrese Douglas on the carry.
Looks like he's got something over here. That's a nice block.
Now, see, again, as a coach, when you see a kid run, he probably ran about 45 yards in total and gained about 5 or 6, maybe 7. Yeah. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Are they going to give him a first down?
He got 9.
All right, so he got 9. Okay, all right. Well, I can live with that. But sometimes you do see a kid scramble in the backfield and get 2 or 3 yards. That's just got to be – especially when you have a young man that's playing both sides of the ball. That's just extra gas that you can't afford. But when you're down 28-0, you're going to try just about anything. Yeah, still a relatively new school, so this stadium has not been dedicated as of yet, so it is still Cavalier Stadium. But it is a beautiful stadium.
It is beautiful.
And that is Mike Blanks. Looks like he did pick up the first. Coach. Yep, first down.
They're going to move the chains. Tell them to go.
With the carry, that would be a Cavalier.
It's important for Southern Lee to have a nice drive, try to be able to get on the scoreboard here before half.
Yes, Yes, absolutely 100%. And again, the wind is at the kicker's back. So therefore, if they at least want to get on the board. Now, that's another good question for a head coach like yourself. You know, if you get down there at the 15, it's fourth down. Are you down 28-0? Are you going to go for the lower percentage of success and try to score a 15-yard touchdown, or are you going to go the higher chance of putting some points on the board to have a little bit of momentum headed into the second half with just 3 points?
Well, I think it's important to know what your field goal kickers.
Let's just say that he's probably 85% in that range.
I would say that you get the points if there's only 4 seconds left on the clock. You go try to get the points.
Okay.
Get some confidence.
Yep.
You said it's tough to score from the 15 or 20-yard line.
Yes. You know, there are some coaches, not many, but there are some coaches, incomplete intended for Brett Blanks, but there are some coaches that never punt. You know, I mean, I think there are a few in Texas and Florida, but they tell their team, you got 4 downs, let's go. You got 4 downs everywhere. I don't know what the score is. You got 4 downs, let's go. Not punting it. And other coaches see the punt as a very strategic part of the game in field position, playing that field position element. So have you ever thought about going the route of just giving your kids 4 downs every single play, your coaches and your kids 4 downs, and just foregoing the punt?
We actually did that early on down here 2 years ago, and we did hold the ball a lot longer doing that. You also got to look at your personnel. You talked about punting and flipping the field. So if you have a punter that can flip the field, and you have the line and personal protectors that can block for you, then you do it. So not too many times do you have backup punters either. So like if your punter goes down, some of the things that you and I might know, but if you're in the stands, you might not know is, well, that punter's had about 2 punts in his career and he's netted 20 yards. So
yeah.
We actually went for it on our own 2 last week with about 3 minutes to go in the game, 2 minutes and 30 seconds against Lee. We didn't get it, but I was okay with the decision. We're trying to win the game. We're not trying to it was tied, and fortunately for us, they missed a kick, and we were able to go in overtime.
And you won the game.
We did win the game, yeah.
So good decision. Everything, all bruises feel better with a W.
That's true.
Johnny Jones is up and ran off the field, so doing good. I do have a score update at Lee County. Lee County is up 7-0 against Hoke, another Sandhills Conference game. So we have a Cavalier timeout. With that timeout, Coach, we're going to take a quick timeout ourselves so that we can pay some bills.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
We are back here at Cavalier Stadium. I want to give a big old shout out to the Cavalier public address announcer, Marshall Spivey, for all your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning needs. And it looks like he's just short, Coach, but suddenly is in Scotland. Wait, they're going to give him the first?
I think they're going to.
Oh, it's the first time they flip in the field?
I think they got to give it a shot to measure this at least minimally. I don't think you do not at least bring the chains out.
Well, as of right now, they're flipping the field, and it looks like it's going to be a first down for Scotland.
I do know one thing. If I'm somebody, I am asking for a measurement. Just to give it a little bit of break. I would ask for a measurement.
I think asking for a measurement, especially on your home field,
isn't too much to ask for. So.
I mean, those are your volunteers on the chains. So.
Yeah, I would have done that.
But here we are. It's 1st and 10. And Scotland's starting just inside their own territory. Handoff.
And it's Hasty again around the corner here. They got a hole. Looks like this one's coming back. He's definitely a shifty back, Hasty is.
2 flags. 2 flags on the field, Coach.
Yeah, there's 2. Did they get this late hit? Is that what they call them too?
Perhaps.
So
Well, maybe 3 flags because one of the Looks like the line judge has his hat off, so it looks like he threw a flag and his hat. Holding, Scotland. What's the other one? Yep, personal foul. Southern. Well, let me ask you this. Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Let's talk about that. When you have a 15-yard personal foul versus a 10-yard holding, should personal foul trump the holding and take the net 5? Or do you like the offsetting? I mean, obviously you like it when it benefits you. I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah.
But, I mean, think about it. I mean, I'm not a fan of offsetting because sometimes the referees will spend 20 minutes on figuring it all out, and at the end of the day, it's all offsetting.
Well, and one's a little bit more egregious, too, usually than the other.
That's what I'm saying. So if you've got a horse collar or you've got a face mask and you've got a 15-yarder versus a 5 or 10-yarder, and they're going to offset it. I mean, to me, it seems like that you would take net of those penalties and reward the team.
Which is what they actually did there. I think they did the hold, and then they gave Southern Lead +5.
Okay.
So I didn't know that.
I did not know.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, so won't be the first time.
Yeah, I hear that.
And, I will say this after this play. Oh, he busted open.
Saw back.
That young man has – did he fumble?
He did fumble.
He did fumble, but we have a flag, Coach.
And I think that's just for putting
so that's not the flag. Yeah, that was just. So how about it? How about it? 2 minutes and 46 seconds to Southern Lee with a critical turnover. So now they're even on. You got to take out the turnover on downs, but nonetheless, that's the first turnover of the night for Southern Lee's category, which is a very positive thing here. So if they can march down and get some points on the board, that would be critical.
They've got time. It's 2:46. They're going to start at the 41-yard line.
First down and 10, Cavaliers.
Yeah, once again, I mean, the PA announcer here is phenomenal.
Yeah, he does an outstanding job.
And I will tell you, after this play, Sims goes back.
He's got an opportunity one-on-one. He stopped running.
Yeah, he did. He stopped running the route.
Okay.
He stopped running the route, Coach.
Yep.
He stopped running the route.
I don't know if there's a mix-up of what he was supposed to run or
I just think he should just went straight vertical, but he stopped.
Kept going, had a chance.
I am privileged. We are both privileged tonight, and I'm going to tell you why. Not every night on a Friday night do you get to stand directly next to not only a North Carolina Hall of Fame quarterback from Clayton High School, but also a country music legend, and none other than Tim Hare himself.
Oh, I wasn't aware that
Yes.
Tim had all those acronyms.
He did. Look him
That's
up.
outstanding.
Google
Funnel kicks it,
Google
Zach.
him. As Shaq said, Google him.
I'm going to look him up because he comes very well qualified is what I'm understanding.
Google him, Chuck. Google him, Chuck. Oh, we have another flag. Well, if it's there's a flag, so that was before the fumble. So we'll see if the white hat is saying it's a first down, Scotland, but there is a flag. And if it is against Scotland, which it looks like it is, Southern's keeping their offense on the field, and therefore, no, it's going to be against Southern. Yep. Decline, first down, Scotland.
Scotland will take over with 2:32 left in the first half, leading 28-0.
Have you ever met the head coach of Southern Lee?
I have not.
But you know what he looks like.
I do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know Lovie Smith of the NFL?
I do. Yeah. Love it.
They're
yeah.
twins.
They do.
They
yeah,
alike.
They do resemble each other. Got a shot down the middle. It's wide open.
Incomplete.
Just missed him. Went it wide open.
So, Coach, are you a Moore County resident?
We actually are just into Lee County.
So, Lee County resident, and you're also a teacher at
Union Pines.
And then what do you teach?
I'm actually the strength coach in PE.
Okay.
Yeah, actually just moved there this year. I was in the EC department for the first 3 years.
Okay. Now, boy, what a strong, powerful run. That's number. That's a different runner. That's number 2.
That's back to Zay
Jones,
the
yeah.
tailback. Yeah, the starter.
It looks like we've got a few little raindrops here. Now, tell us a little bit about your resume there, Coach. Now, you came to Union Pines from?
I'm originally from near Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
Yep. So
you're obviously a Giants fan.
I'm actually not. Well, if you're a New York fan, I mean, New Jersey actually was where they reside.
That's true.
I joke with my state New York friends about that. But the only real New York team in New York is Buffalo. But yeah, no. So I've coached. This is actually my 22nd season as a coach. This is my 7th as a head coach. While in New York, my 4th year as an assistant coach. We won the state championship back in 2004 with 21 players and the equivalent of Class A football down here.
Okay.
Was fortunate enough to take over that program for 4 years. Had a record of 27-9, 4 playoff appearances. Moved on to be a coordinator at nearby high school, Port Byron.
Okay. All this is in New York.
All up in New York. And then moved on. Before I moved down here, I was at East Syracuse, Manoa, just east of Syracuse. And I was a coordinator there for 4 out of the 6 years I was assistant. We moved down in 2018. She took a year off coaching. Had an opportunity to be an assistant special teams coach at Union Pines under Matt Quinn. Matt was hired, and then he'd been there for a couple years. And he had took a job in Columbia, South Carolina at Westwood. And then Coach Cox was offered the position. And then I served as Coach Cox's defense coordinator for 2 years there. And Coach Cox moved on when we changed the conference and went back to Fairmont School where he was an alum. And then I had the opportunity and been at Union Pines now. This is my actually 3rd season there. Obviously it's a big challenge. The conference we're in is big, but each year we've gotten better. We went from getting beat by 50 points or 60 points against some of these teams to last year losing by 10 and 7 and 17. So we're definitely more competitive. In this past year, we've had a couple games get away from us, but obviously last week, it was one of the better wins in the Union Pine history, first time ever beating Lee County.
Yeah, I agree.
We're definitely proud of that.
Yeah, no doubt. And very impressive resume, and welcome to the South. And
thank you.
2018, so you came here right at a time, a couple of years before the nasty stuff came, and then they kind of messed up a lot of stuff. So, but I think we're kind of hopefully past all that now. So, but thank you for sharing your past experience with us, and we're happy to have you in the community at Union Pines. I consider Union Pines, like a home. I mean, it's 20 minutes from here, so
appreciate it.
It's just a great community, great kids, great families, just a great band, great support, great community support. And so shout out to all the Union Pines Vikings faithful. I got another update here at Lee County. It is halftime at Lee County. They're up 13-0 versus Hoke. I do believe, Hoke County this year. Coach, just off the top of your head, do you know their record?
They're 2-3.
So they're 2-3.
Yeah.
Lee County's 3-2. Okay.
So Hoke County, I've watched a ton of their scores. I actually watched Scotland and Hoke actually last week. I watched them. They played last Friday, but I watched them in film this week. Their defense is really good. And their offense they've got a good quarterback and a younger offensive line, and they got a couple speed guys, but their defense is really good at Hoke. So that score 13-0 is not really surprising.
Well, I think for sure Coach Bordeaux have those kids pumped up after.
Coach Bordeaux is an outstanding coach and an outstanding human being. I mean,
what you guys did to him last week, but yeah, Coach Bordeaux is a good man. I agree.
He's an outstanding guy. And a hell of a coach.
Yep. And, I don't know how he escaped that. Robbie Sims on the run for his life, passes out of bounds.
That was wow. That was a great move by him.
It really was.
Get away from that sack. He got away from 2 guys.
But with 1 minute left before halftime, Southern Lee had the privilege, I say that in quotations, to go to Eastern Randolph and play Burton Cates Stadium.
Yeah.
And that was another, very difficult matchup for us. But, did you coach against Burton Cates?
I did not. So, I think Burton had left in 2017.
Okay.
So I just missed him. I know he was at Lee for a number of years.
Yes.
But
actually, that was the last year Southern beat Lee Senior was in 2017.
Okay. Yeah, and I knew that they hadn't had some success because Coach Patterson and Coach Burgess actually were on our staff.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
A couple of years ago.
And I do believe both of those gentlemen are now at Pinecrest.
Yeah,
I know Patterson is.
Yeah, both those guys are down there. Yep. And they had a rapport with Coach Edens at Pinecrest as well. They did they got an outstanding staff down there, and obviously they got an outstanding football team at Pinecrest.
Yep. Johnny Jones runs for a first down. That is a Shed Depot first down for Southern Lee, and we're going to have a quick timeout because there's a injury on the field. So we're going to take a quick commercial timeout.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with the caramel sauce and great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's. Zaxby's new Philly. The garlic aioli, grilled peppers, and onions with melty cheese make it a Philly. But chicken makes it Zaxby's. Try it fried or grilled. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
And we are back here at Cavalier Stadium on September. It is September the 22nd. That's right, second day of fall. That's right, and it feels it. It feels it. It's nice out. It's probably about 70 degrees out. And Johnny Jones is on the sideline running off. Looks like he just tweaked his ankle there, but looks like he's going to be okay. It will be a Cavalier first down. 46 seconds to go. At their own 37. And, again, as we had talked, it is kind of critical to get something on the board before halftime to give these young men some type of confidence heading into halftime and not turn the daggone ball over. That's critical. I mean, when you are down 35-0 and you keep giving them the ball back, that's just not what you want to do. Secure that ball.
Yeah, they didn't move. Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster. I mean, you can't do that against teams that are – so to speak, below 500 against a team like Scotland. If you turn it over a couple times, you're going to be in for a long night.
Yeah, no doubt. Very long night. So we won't, we're broadcasting live, and, we don't want to say any ugly words on TV, so we're not going to mention what shirt you have on here tonight in this Cavalier booth. But, we'll talk a little bit about Saturday football.
Yeah.
So tell us. Oh, nice catch.
That is a nice catch. Way to
Good
hang
pass. And that is going to be caught by, that's going to be Brett Blanks. Brett Blanks, yep. Thank you, Tim. 65, cloudy, about 12, 15 mile per hour wind, and it is raining out just a little bit. So Saturday football.
Yeah.
So now you come from New York and Syracuse, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I'm a big Syracuse.
Okay.
Actually, more of a Syracuse basketball fan than I am of football, even though I do follow the Orange.
Well, let me ask you this. Jim Boeheim is 150 years old, and he has a kid in college playing basketball. How does this work? I mean, you're a Syracuse fan. You should know this, right?
Well, I mean, I'm a big Boeheim supporter. He actually he's done now coaching.
Yeah, he is. He's retired, yeah.
Adrian Autry, a player in the 90s, actually took over the program. With the transfer portal, they got a couple guys that come in. So Syracuse has an opportunity to be pretty good this year in the ACC, I think.
Football or basketball?
In basketball.
Yeah.
Football, they're 3-0. They just beat Purdue. They got Army tomorrow at noon. They got a veteran quarterback. Garrett Schrader was a transfer from, I think it was Ole Miss or Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, one of the Mississippi schools. He came in. This is his third year. He's senior, graduating this year, but he's been tremendous for Syracuse. He can run, and he throws it well as well. So
Robinson keeps it, slides to midfield with 12 seconds to go before halftime. So who does the Orange play tomorrow?
They play Army, the Cadets.
The Cadets of Army, and what is their record? the Orange?
Syracuse is 3-0.
Okay, Syracuse 3-0.
After Army, I do believe Clemson comes into the Dome.
Oh,
Let me take a look quick.
Take a look. Sims is scrambling. Sims going to the right. Direction pass.
What a
pass
throw.
is complete. He's going to have to get in the end zone. And he's going to be tackled 30 yards short of the end zone, Coach Trousdale, and that's going to do it. It's halftime here at Cavaliers Stadium, 35-0 Scotland. We're going to be back with a RE/MAX halftime show right after these messages.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trockton, and we are First Bank.
Okay, we are back here, Cavalier Stadium, folks. This is the RE/MAX halftime show. We're going to spend a couple of minutes here recapping this first half. Coach Trousdale, we're going to get back to Orange here in just a few minutes for sure, but let's talk a little bit about Scotland and Southern League. Obviously not what you want if your coach blanks. Now, Coach, have you been in situations where you're down big at halftime? And if so, I'm not making any assumptions, but if so, what are you telling these kids right now? I mean, are you going back to fundamentals? Are you just talking motivational quotes over and over? Or do you really think your kids have an opportunity to come back and win this ball game?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, 35 points is a lot of points, so you obviously ain't going to get it back in one possession. So you really restart the game. All right, let's see what we're going to do here in the second half. We can't worry about anything that's happened. Let's just play one play at a time. Let's try to go down, get a drive, score, get a surprise onside kick, maybe get a quick score, and then when we're back to 3 possessions, then we get an opportunity. You've got to be able to do that quick. You can't have a long drive. So if you're going to be able to get back in the game, you're going to have to be able to score quick, and then you're going to have to be able to get some turnovers as well to have an opportunity to close on such a large deficit. But you almost kind of wipe it clean at half. Whatever happened in the first half, it's done and over with, and let's just go play football in the second half.
Sounds good to me. And, you have to speak that and believe it, because when you're down 35 points at halftime, most everybody out here in the fans on both sides are thinking this game's over. One more touchdown, you got a running clock. So as a head coach, you've really got to be believable when you're talking to these young men so that they can grab a hold and believe what you're saying. Even if you don't come back and take this game and get a W, you come back, you score a few touchdowns, you make it respectable. Very similar to what Southern League did last week at Richmond. It was 55 to 13, and then Southern came back and made it 55-33. Still a blowout. Yeah. But not as bad as 55-13.
No. And again, Southern League has, like I talked about earlier, they got a ton of good athletes over here. So, they can score quick here against any opponent they have. So I think it's important that when you go in there as a coach at halftime is to speak real clear and speak slow. You're not in there, you're not yelling. There should be no one yelling at all at that point. You're going over here. This is what we're going to have to do. It's going to be a tough challenge, but if you're in for it, let's go. This is what we got to do. Here's how we're going to attack it. And you say a lot less at that point. It's when you're up where you say more because you want to make sure we're on these guys. We continue to stay on them. So you want to just talk less, talk calm, and be confident in your words. And even if you have to repeat yourself, say, guys, understand, we will come back. So you have to, it's a reciprocal thing, so have them recite that back to you that they believe that they can come back.
Excellent points by head coach Jason Trousdale from Union Pines Vikings. Excellent points, well said. Thank you so much. This is the RE/MAX halftime show. We're going to come right back and watch the band. The Southern League Pride Marching Band is performing on the field here at halftime. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the RE/MAX Real Estate Service halftime show, brought to you by New Image Media, only on the NFHS Network.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford with the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles or check out our state-of-the-art service system where our team can have you back on track in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, General Motors. We are professional grade.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
"90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford with the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles or check out our state-of-the-art service system where our team can have you back on track in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, General Motors. We are professional grade.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
"90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford with the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles or check out our state-of-the-art service system where our team can have you back on track in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, General Motors. We are professional grade.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Chris Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
At Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford with the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles or check out our state-of-the-art service system where our team can have you back on track in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, General Motors. We are professional grade.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
"90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford with the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles or check out our state-of-the-art service system. Our team can have you back on track in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online, WilkinsonCars.com, or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, General Motors. We are professional grade.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me, crystalcopas.com.
And we are back here live at Lee County at Southern High School in Lee County, I should say, at Cavalier Stadium. And we are about to start the second half. Brian McCullum out to kick off to Scotland, who received the opening kickoff to begin the half. And the wind has picked up, Coach. We are looking at about 20 miles per hour, according to AccuWeather. Oh,
that was a little fumble on the
kick. A little bobble there.
12. Here's returning it out, still on his feet, up to just past the 30, I think about the 30.
Some extracurricular going on
maybe
there?
33-yard line.
All right, so 33. So like I say, we're back here at half. The weather continuously getting a little bit worse. It's now blowing 20 miles per hour, according to AccuWeather. 20 miles per hour. It is raining, and it is 59 degrees. So it has gotten quite a bit cooler as the night has progressed. So it's much cooler. It is raining, and the wind is blowing at 20 miles per hour. So not ideal conditions if you're suddenly looking to come back from 35 points down at half.
No, it's a tall challenge for sure. There's their GH counter again.
Nice tackle.
I'm going to pick up about 4. It's the backup again, Hasty on the carry number 20.
Very nice tackle by Mike Blanks. Okay, so, Coach, we were talking right before halftime about the Orange and the ACC. So tell us a little bit, and you said the Orange play tomorrow at noon, I believe it is. They are 3-0 in their regular season. They haven't played a conference game yet, correct?
That is correct.
So
their first conference game will be actually against Clemson next Saturday.
Against Clemson. So let's talk. Very nice tackle there.
Foul tackle.
Gain of about 3 yards on the play. Tackle made by, it looks like, number 2, Julian McNeil. Plays cornerback for Southern. So, okay. All right. So Clemson looks as if they might be slipping a little bit. We had talked break about Florida State. Who would you say would be perhaps, if Clemson is indeed slipping, not saying they are, in fact, but if they are going to slip, we have a flag. It looks like he's going to run for a first down, but we do have a flag. Who do you think would be the next, I don't want to say dynasty, but let's say the next top team in the ACC over, say, the next 5 or 6 years?
So you said Florida State. I would say, Chapel Hill, UNC right now, they're definitely going up. The way they, each year Coach Brown's come back, they've gotten better and better these last couple of years. So, they expect to be at the top for a little while.
Well, as a graduate of UNC and an alum there, I was there when Mac Brown was there originally, and Carolina has a way of disappointing their fan base with mediocrity and playing down against their competition. But I can't disagree right now. They're playing well. However, I will say that their quarterback, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year, doesn't look like not only a has-been, but also doesn't look like a first pick in the NFL, much less first round.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of rough go of it, but still, I think they're 3-0 as well, North Carolina is.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I expect them to be right up there, again, playing for an ACC championship.
So it is now 4th down. Caleb Waters on the tackle there. 10 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the third. And it is 4th down. We have an injury on the field. We're going to keep it right here and talk a little bit more about ACC football. And we get the cameraman maybe to scroll down and look at the cheerleaders down there. You can kind of see the effects of the wind. That's a really good indication of how much the wind is blowing right now. Again, blowing about 20 miles per hour. So they have on their little rain gear. So you can kind of see that now on your television screen. You can see bottom left, you can see it really good about how that wind is blowing. Can't really see that on the players, but now you can see it. So ACC football, they've taken the Coastal and Atlantic, and they've now joined forces, and so it's just one big ACC now. Mm-hmm. Any particular thoughts on that? Do you like that? Do you like it better? Now, when Syracuse, they were in the Atlantic, right? Or were they in the Coastal Division? I can't remember which one they were in.
I think they were the Coastal.
But, there were a lot of rivalries started to creep in those particular separations, the Atlantic and the Coastal. But now they're together. Thoughts on that?
Well, that's what you just took the words out of my mouth. I think you kind of take the rivalries away if you're not playing them every year. So I understand why they're doing it, but again, I think it does take a little bit of lux out of the whole rivalry. If you're not playing the team every year, then you can't have much of a rivalry.
So I agree with that. And speaking of Syracuse, and if you don't recall, Coach Trousdale is from New York. He grew up a Syracuse fan, still is an Orange fan. So we're talking a little bit about Syracuse right now. It looks like, however, that Scotland's going to go for it on 4th down.
4th down and about 5 from their own 41. He's got wide open, the apex wide open and fly. The kids.
We have a flag.
There's going to be a penalty. It'll be a 1st down, though. They won't take the penalty.
So we have some assistant coaches in the booth next to us. You could, if you hear them screaming, probably not something that you should let your children listen to. However, with that being said, we talked about the Orange, one of my favorite Orange players of all time, and I really liked him a lot as a player, as a quarterback, as an individual, as a human being. Mama did the soup commercials for Campbell's Chunky Soup. Yeah. But I was no longer a fan once he got really tired and started getting sick and throwing up in the Super Bowl and lost it to the Patriots, and that would be the quarterback Donovan McNabb, who was an all-star at Syracuse. What are your thoughts on old Donovan?
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that he was a Syracuse star athlete in football, he was tremendous. And then he also played basketball as well. I don't know, a lot of people don't know that or not, but he actually was a pretty good basketball player as well. He's from Chicago, Illinois.
That was the tackle, number 11, Jamari Hall. Go ahead.
He had a stellar career at Syracuse, and the unfortunate part of the whole thing is he went to Philadelphia. Right then I stopped liking him, I'll be honest with you.
Well, I can understand wearing a shirt that you're wearing that has a blue star on it. I get that. But, yeah, bad snap, fumble, recovered by the quarterback. Donovan, really a good guy. Now, if you recall, he and T.O.,
they did.
They were best friends, and Donovan brought him in, and then T.O. hurt his ankle and then came back and played in the Super Bowl. And just like what's happening now with Jalen Hurts and his all-star quarterback, wide receiver, A.J. Brown, watching them having it. What is it with? We're going to keep it right here. We're not taking a break. What is it with? You don't see running backs. You don't see tailbacks. You don't see fullbacks. You don't see what is the deal with diva wide receivers?
Well, I think it starts with there's only one football in the game. You've got to be able to move the ball around, but also understand that just because you're open doesn't mean the quarterback's going to throw the ball to you.
They dress 52 players. 11 can be on the field at any given time, and there's one football.
Exactly. So you got to appreciate the guys that will just block downfield, and there's a number of those guys. But, at the end of the day, it's the money position as far as especially the way the NFL is today. Like, if you throw the football, obviously you got to have some really good receivers.
That'll be a first down for Scotland. Yeah, exactly. If you're a throw first team, you do have to have some really good receivers. But again, Donovan had it with T.O. You see
Tony Romo with the Cowboys.
Tony Romo had it
with T.O. as well.
With T.O. of course, and what team was it, Coach? Was it Antonio Brown? Antonio Brown and Tom Brady.
So if you're going to mess with the GOAT, you're going to.
What are you doing?
Do so well there. So.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Why wide receivers are divas? I'm not sure what the deal is. They're super athletic. They're great athletes. But anyway, we got a penalty here against the Cavaliers that will march Scotland down the field with another Shed Depot first down.
Well, and it's a look good, play good thing. I think with the wide receivers more than anything, they got to really look glamorous and look pretty and all that. But fortunately, we don't have that look at Union Pines. We got a bunch of hard-nosed kids that
I tell you, Caleb Milton, Ethan Biggs, those kids, those young
Tobias.
men. No doubt. Look, another fumble picked up by the Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers got it.
And that is a recovery by Southern Lee. Southern Lee will have it. First down and 10 when we get back from this commercial break.
Number 69, Caleb Water.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee
blanks. Actually, that is Johnny Jones, number 7, picks up about 8 yards. It'll be second down and 2 at the Cavalier 41-yard line. Second and short. Looks like if the Cavaliers could just put together a drive, one drive, all they need is one drive. If they could just put together one drive, get some points on the board. No one ever wants to be at home and have that big old goose egg on the scoreboard leaving the stadium after a game. So all they need is one good drive. So it's third and short.
Looks like they're moving the chains.
Oh, they gave them forward progress. How about that?
Forward progress does give them a Cavalier.
Shed Depot first down, too.
Shed Depot first down, Coach Trousdale. You're absolutely right. Shed Depot first down. Make sure to stay tuned because we are going to have a First Bank post-game show coming up at the end of the fourth.
I like that suddenly stuck with the I formation through all this.
They have, and the thing is, you called it. You called it at the very beginning before the first snap. You called that I, and that's exactly what they've stuck with. Again, Coach, you're going to stick – look, common sense prevails, right? You're not going to try to do silly, crazy –
that you can't do.
Because you know why? Because you know who you are.
Right.
You know who you have. You've said it before. You know who your athletes are.
Yeah.
You know who you have. You know what you practice.
Right.
And forget this game. This, for now, for Coach Blanks, this is practice.
Yeah.
And you're practicing against a really good absolutely.
Yeah.
They're getting better.
Yep.
So, first and 15. Sims is back, looks to his left, catch, passes no, he actually caught it in bounds.
Yeah, they're giving it to him.
But only about 3 yards. So it'll be up to the 40 of the Cavaliers. You got to give a big old shout out to the Cavaliers cheerleaders. They are still out on the track cheering. Also, the Scotland cheerleaders are still over there. But the band always takes off the third quarter, so lucky for them, they get to find shelter. But they should be back at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
So it looks like a second and maybe 13.
That looks to be about right.
But I tell you, Scotland's linebackers look like they luck to come downhill.
I believe he ran just about shy. That'll be third and short. Did he fumble? They are on him.
Is he all right?
They have been listen, let me tell you something. Mike Blanks is 5'11", 180 pounds. Now I heard
coach's tick.
I heard the coach.
Yeah, you could see
they slam. They're slamming them. They're slamming the smaller players. They know they're smaller. Scotland knows that the Southern kids are smaller, and so they're coming out bullying them, and they're slamming them to get in their head, much less get them hurt, but just to get in their head mentally that I'm bigger than you, I'm badder than you, I'm better than you, and you need to go back, cry to mama. And we saw that last week at Richmond. And again, Coach, and good to see Mike Blanks getting up. But again, Coach,
strong kid, tough.
We talked about this, Union Pines and Southern Lee being in this conference against teams like Hoke, Richmond, Pinecrest, Scotland. What are you doing? Are you trying to get kids hurt? You've got programs like this that are coming out to compete and compete hard, but then you've got these other players that potentially could injure someone just based on size.
Yeah, I mean, again, Scotland is obviously a proud franchise, have proud history as far as football goes, but Southern Lee, they're moving the ball here. It's third quarter, 6:20 to go here in the game, and as far as like the physicality, I mean, they're running basic football players, Southern Lee is right now, and they're getting yards.
Yeah, they are getting yards. They have a flag. They did pick up the first down, but there is a flag. It looks like it's going to go against Scotland, and it is, and they're going to walk it off now.
And sometimes you just play against teams that are more physical than you are at the end of the day.
This is true, and there's nothing wrong with that, Coach. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that. You can play physical and play legal. You can play physical and still play legal.
Yeah.
But again, when you have a child that's out there, and these are still children, and when you have a child that's out there and they're going up against a kid that, is twice their size, and that kid's slamming them like a body slam, I mean, that doesn't feel good.
No, without question, it don't feel good. Anytime that there's a
That's a touchdown for the Cavaliers, Coach Trousdale. They are on the board. They are on the board.
Football player, ISO.
You also have to wonder a little bit if Scotland has subbed a little bit.
I was just going to say, I looked over. There's a lot of starters still out in that field for Scotland. So
okay, well, that's a nice, impressive drive. I wish it had came a little bit earlier in the third. Nonetheless, there's still 6 minutes to go in the third, and so they have now pulled within 4 scores, which is it's doable. Yeah. You've seen it happen.
Well, yeah, it's only third quarter now. I mean,
right.
You're going to have at least 4 or 5 more possessions in this football game.
That's right. And if Scotland, they haven't really protected the ball that well tonight either, given the weather.
Be opportunistic.
Yep.
Maybe get a scoop and score, or even maybe now's the time for an outside kick too.
Well, that was a single play right there made for number 14, Preston Clayton. I'm going to tell you right now, what happened was that was a botch snap. The play call for that on a botch snap is for Cullum to get the ball and run a little Nick Foles action and throw it to Preston Clayton, number 14, for a touchdown. And but with that, let's keep it right here because Southern's already getting out there to kick off. So it's 35-6, still a 4-score possession.
Game, yep.
So now, if you're Southern and you're the kids, and again, opportunistic, you mentioned it, and so. I think you're at this point. You're just going all out for the ball, and play smart. You still have to play smart.
Yep.
You tell the kids to go out there and let's get the ball back, but you just have to play smart because Scotland, they're confident, they're cocky right now, and that's when you make errors. Is when you're a little cocky and you're a little overconfident.
Yeah. So if I'm Southern Lee right now with it, just scoring a touchdown, you got an opportunity to maybe pin them back inside their 10 with a nice little pooch kick. And then if you can go 3 and out and force them to punt out of the end zone, you can get some points with a safety or a block punt or even a touchdown.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is it too soon to do a little pooch or maybe an onside here?
I think you got a lot of room over here to the right here between the 20 and goal line. I mean, if you knock one down between the 20 and the 10, you got an opportunity to go get the ball. Just like they kind of did there. Didn't get as far enough over, but I think he was trying to get it to the side.
All right. Well, it is Scotland's going to take over in their own territory at the 35, first down and 10. And with that, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with a caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's. Zaxby's new Philly. The garlic aioli, grilled peppers, and onions with melty cheese make it a Philly. But the chicken makes it Zaxby's. Try it fried or grilled. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
All right, we are back here at Cavalier Stadium. Southern Lee Cavaliers are on the board, 6 points, touchdown. And now we have a first down by Scotland, and they are still in their own territory. Looks like their ball's going to be placed at their 47, 48-yard line, first and 10. So we have a slate of games coming up tomorrow in college football. We can't talk pro football because Coach Trousdale and I will have a fight, and he will leave me on the floor covered in my own blood and urine, and it would not be pretty. So we're going to talk college football. There's something new going on in college football now.
He's got it. We just talked about it, and there you go.
There it is. There it is. Opportunistic. The weather played in this, and Cavaliers are going to start first down and 10 in Scotland territory. So with that, things have changed in college sports a lot, and they continue to change. But one of the new things is the NIL and the transfer portal. As a head coach, what are your thoughts about the NIL, the transfer portal, and the way college football is progressing in this society?
I think the transfer portal is very difficult right now. I don't think it's going away. That's the unfortunate part. I talked about our guys actually today in my fourth block class. I said, guys, at the end of the day, a guy like number 2 for Scotland, really one of the best backs in our conference, and he's got no offers, no scholarship offers. So, you got guys getting that extra COVID year as well. Guys going to the transfer portal. I think last year they quoted as saying there was 3,000 guys that were left in the transfer portal.
Oh, my.
So it's out of control, but I don't think it's going away. I don't know what the answer is for it, but it is tough. It's tough for the high school kids.
If you may or may not know this, but nice hard run there by Mike Blanks. But if you put this in perspective for us, Coach, you said 3,000 players were left in the transfer portal. How many entered? Again, you may not know that. I would just like to know what percentage is left.
I didn't know that number. I know there was that many guys.
A lot. That's a lot.
That's too many.
And
it's just too many.
So that's the transfer portal. What about the NIL?
I just, I don't think that's going away. And I did hear actually them talking about having that here as well. I know that they did pass something actually last night that had talked about that, and they're actually going to give more power to superintendents and local entities and taking potentially away from the NCHSAA. So I don't know. I'm interested to see where it's going, but
so you're talking high school.
Yeah.
So you're talking the NIL.
Yeah, it's
moving down the ladder to the high school ranks. How can that happen? With kids that aren't even of age.
Well, and right now it's actually happening in other states throughout the country.
Well, Texas, I would imagine. But again, do you have kids that aren't of age? I would assume it goes to their parents.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how that works. Each state's probably a little bit different, but it's a growing problem. But someone's going to benefit from it. And at the end of the day, that's I guess what it's about.
Well, money changes everything.
Yeah.
And and let's look at it this way. I'm not necessarily saying I'm for it or against it. Neither are you. We're just saying that it's something that has to be looked at and addressed every single year, as does everything. But with that being said, you have to admit, when you're an athlete in college, and you see 80,000 people in the stands,
right,
and you see the money that the college is raking in, and you're the star athlete, and you're putting your blood, life, soul, spirit, everything on that football field. Now, obviously, you're trying to get to the NFL, but you're making this school a lot of money. It makes sense. But then again, you look at the tennis players, you look at lacrosse, you look at, how does it trickle down? And then, of course, basketball.
Right.
Sims running to his left out of the pocket. It's going to pick up the first down. That's a Shed Depot first down, so no flags on the field. That's good. 3 minutes left to go in the third. So obviously it does good for a lot of athletes that are in college. And also, Coach, it also is a deterrent to leave early for the pro level. If you can make a little money in college, it's a deterrent.
Yeah, without question. I think that's why guys are staying that extra year, because they're able to get a little bit of money.
Yep.
And then there's no guarantee that they're going to make it in the NFL.
That's exactly
these other
right.
professional leagues as
That's
well.
exactly right.
I mean, I get it. I understand. Why would they not? Why would they turn that money away? So
I don't really understand how the calculation works when it comes to name, image, likeness. How do you calculate that in terms of earnings? How many times do you say a player's name? How many times are you using it on campus? How do you calculate that? Those are just some things I don't understand. I'm sure it's extremely complicated nonetheless.
Yeah,
but
and again, I don't know the first of it. I just know that it is coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you hear, especially in these bigger states, we had talked about Texas as Zay Jones runs for a touchdown for –
he's slippery.
Scotland.
That's right.
And it's slippery. It's funny you said that because he actually slipped in the backfield, but he came around and scored. So, again, we're going to take a break in just a second, but after they kick this extra point or they attempt the extra point try, there are some states where you hear about recruits going and looking at kids in middle school and even elementary school.
Yeah, that's true. It's happening.
It's really there's so much money in sports, and everybody wants that piece. They want a piece of that money.
Well, and if you look at it, like everything is, how many times are we sitting here, you and I, checking our phone and things like that?
Exactly.
Technology has kind of ruined us actually a little bit too much. So you said it, you got TikTok here, and we've got 6-year-olds, 7-year-old kids that are
very true.
It's like unbelievable.
Very true. Well, we're going to take a commercial timeout. It is the third quarter with 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the third. 42-6 Scotland.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed. One where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one place to make your buying experience easier. Visit our sales center located just off US Highway 1 in Sanford, or get started today at ShedDepotNC.com to view in-stock models or to design your perfect shed using our 3D design tool.
All right, we are back here. Rainy, cold, windy night at Southern Lee Cavalier Stadium. And it's not a pretty scoreboard if you're a Cav fan. It's 42-6 Scotland. And but, you have to give it out to the brave few hundred that are still out, braving the temps and the weather and the wind and all that goes with it. We have the cheerleading coach. Coach Downey is in the booth with us tonight. But she's here, not staying dry. She's here because she's on a mission. She's doing our 50-50 stuff. All right, so is that out of bounds? Yep, that's out of bounds. They'll probably take it, at the 35, you think, or they're going to take the 5 yards?
Yeah, I would assume they would take it at the 35, which they're going to do.
Okay, so are you familiar at all with, we're again kind of going back to college football, are you familiar at all with the, I know you pull for the Orange, but with the situation with the wide receiver at UNC, because, and again, that was the whole deal with the transfer portal. I mean, it all kind of got into that, and it was a mental health situation,
right?
And all of that. So
I know there's a bunch of attorneys involved.
Taz Walker, a lot of people involved. Mike Brown's had a lot of harsh comments to say to the NCAA about that. But that all, the genesis of that was the transfer portal.
Yeah, true. Now, he played at A&T, I believe.
That is correct. That is correct. And
it hurts the kid,
That's the point, right?
He's worked his tail off
That's
to
right.
get out there and
That's
play.
exactly right.
I mean, I don't know the situation other than the fact that
That's absolutely
he's not
right.
They allowed him not to.
Correct. And no one wants to speculate anything, but the point is that who are you actually supporting as the NCAA? Are you supporting the student, the school, your own interest? What?
Right.
So the wind has died down a little bit. 14 miles per hour is the latest one. It is about 58 degrees, but it's still raining. Rain coming down pretty nice. I don't know what you call this. Is it a tropical depression? What do we have coming in off the coast that's causing this?
It's a depression.
It's a depression, yeah.
I think by the time it gets to us, it will be, yeah.
Sims hands it off. Big number 42 with a big hit.
Scotland, that is LeBron
Phillips. James playing for Scotland.
LeBron Phillips.
Phillips.
6'2", 250.
No, see, some of them big boys. Man. You know, and I'm saying that, our running back's 5'11" and 180, and you talk about 6'2", 6'3", 270.
Yeah. So just looking at the roster of these guys, I'm just going to roll off some numbers.
Okay. Can you do that when we come back from the break? We've got a timeout for Southern. We're going to take a commercial break, and then Coach Trousdale is going to run off some numbers for Scotland.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trougdale, and we are First Bank.
We're back live here at Cavalier Stadium. Coach Trousdale, Scotland has some big old boys. Why don't you tell us a little bit about them big old boys?
They do, and I'm just going to talk about their O-line, D-line types guys. We just mentioned LeBron Phillips. He's 6'2", 250, junior. Then you have Darius McDougall, who will be playing in the East-West Shrine game. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. Jaden Millsock is their tackle at 240. He's one of their lighter guys.
Wow.
Their center is 235, Thomas Taylor. Jaden Worth is 240. Michael McLaughlin, 235. Jeremiah Nichols, a freshman, 290.
Wow. What's his height? What's that height?
He's
only 5'8", and a freshman.
Yeah, 5'8", 290. And then you got Jacob Clemens, who's in his second year playing football. He's 6'6", 300 pounds.
That's a face mask. Okay, go ahead. Keep going. That's a face mask.
Yep. And then we've got Patrick Williams, who's a freshman, 6'3", 250. Isaiah Locklear is heavily recruited, 6'3", 300.
So that name, that's Locklear. You know him.
Yeah. So number 52, McDougall. He just accepted an invitation to the East-West Shrine game.
Oh, yeah, you'd mentioned that. Yep.
And then they got Locklear, who's a junior, who's 6'3", 300, and NC State, Carolina, all the big schools are recruiting him up. Yeah.
Fantastic.
They're solid. Really big guys.
They are solid, right? Yeah, that's a big squad right there. Yeah. I mean, you just look at those guys.
It's a college offensive line.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
And then you got a really good back, too, behind it.
It's a college OL and a college DL.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Do any of those kids play both sides of the ball, Coach, or are they all dedicated?
They do. So that is the one thing that was, just watching a little bit of the film is the McDougall plays some D-line, so does Locklear. And then another guy I didn't mention yet is Zacharias Shaw, who's a stud, is 6'2", 245. So
wow,
they're big and they're athletic too. That's the other piece.
All right, so we're going to compare some of that. So I've got Southern.
Yeah.
If you look at our guys on the O line and D line, 175 pounds, 215 pounds, 170 pounds, 138 pounds. 155 pounds, 180 pounds, and then we got a couple kids in the mid 200s.
Yeah.
So again, smaller. Now, not necessarily. Listen, girth doesn't always trump athleticism.
Sure.
So update Lee County all over Hope County, 27-0. I mean, they are putting it to Hope County. So good job there with Coach. Bordeaux.
Bouncing back there looks like they're on their way to a good win.
Bordeaux, straight from France. What is
some
he?
option
Is
here?
he? Is that French?
I think Bordeaux is French.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Trousdale, that's got to be German.
It's no German at all. It's actually French and actually a little bit of Scottish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so I knew you were pulling for Scotland. I figured that. Laurenburg. All right.
I'm pulling for a good game.
Yes. So it is 42-6. We are at the end of the third. We're heading into the fourth on a cold, rainy night here in Lee County at Southern Lee High School. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back to start the fourth.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC.
Take a look.
And we are back here at Southern Lee Cavalier Stadium. We got, I know the name of that song, but who's I don't want to say it. Who sings it? Yeah, AC/DC? Yeah, AC/DC. Got AC/DC playing over the loudspeaker. All right, so it's a big fourth down for Southern Lee Cavaliers. It's 4th and 1 in Scotland territory at the 37. They are going to do a quarterback sneak. As we talked earlier in the first quarter, there's no pushing because you are not allowed to evade the run or advance the runner individually, although you can push the pile. Regardless, that is not enough for a first down. It will be a turnover on downs. We do have an injured Cavalier. And so with that, we're going to take another timeout.
Yeah, so Southern is at Pinecrest.
Okay.
Next Friday.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
All right, folks, we're back, and it is raining pretty hard. And you see that's Caleb Waters. Caleb Waters is a beast. He plays multi-sports. He plays both sides of the ball. And, he's had ankle issues. He's a rather large young man.
He is a big boy.
He stands I've known that young man since he was in elementary school.
6'4".
He's one of my son's best friends.
Oh, nice.
And he is 6'4", 270. And the 270 is nice. Okay, that's being polite. Okay. And so his ankles take a lot of beating. And he's a big kid, but he's a good kid.
He's tough too. I was super impressed with him on film, just watching him against Western, just blowing people off the ball.
You know, it's one thing to like an athlete because they're athletic, but it's another thing to like an athlete because they're just a good person.
Good kid,
and it's rare these days with all the crap on social media to actually have a good, genuine, heartfelt young person. It's rare.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. So one of the kid that actually caught the 3 touchdowns for us, Tobias, the sophomore, he don't have social media. His parents won't allow him to have it. Best thing ever. Man.
I tried that with my children. It lasted about 6 days. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm not fighting that battle.
It is tough.
But, when we were growing up, we went outdoors. We got dirty. We played neighborhood football, neighborhood basketball, neighborhood baseball, whatever. And he may go. Nope, he's taken down at the 40. No flags on the field.
That's number, I believe, 33 for Scotland, Joel Ellis. And Joel is – he is a junior, 5'8", 145 running back.
Oh, small kid.
Yeah.
And he's fast.
He is quick.
But, back when we were growing up, if we had social media growing up, we'd be all over it too, just like the kids now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we didn't know growing up. I don't know how old you are, Jason. I'm 50. But,
48.
Okay. So when we grew up in the 80s, we had to find ways to get in trouble.
True.
And, we actually got bored at times. And, we had to find ways to entertain ourselves and get outside and do stuff.
Yeah.
But, we didn't know what flipping through a phone was and all that good stuff. I mean, heck, we just –
something on a chat.
Yeah, we barely had Atari 2600 and Commodore 64, much less smartphones and all that other stuff.
So funny.
Oh, he may go to the house. And he takes it to the house. That's a touchdown for Scotland. I do not see any laundry on the field. And that's going to start the running clock, I believe, Coach.
Yeah, it'll be 48-6, pending the PAT, maybe 49.
Yeah, so 48-6, that's still 42. Yeah. So 49 will definitely. And I'm sure the white hat will signal up here for the running clock. I'm sure he wants to get home. He's cold.
And he's already done it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He has already done it?
Yeah, its clock is currently running right now.
I'm going to tell you, honestly, talking about the referees, there's a shortage right now in high school and even in rec, especially rec. You talk about abuse that the referees take in
too much
recreation.
It's ridiculous.
Much less high school and middle school. But we're going to take a timeout. We're going to be right back. It is 48. He must have missed it. He missed it. No, it's 49.
I want to stop the clock.
Did he make it?
10 to play in the fourth. The score, Scotland, 48.
Okay, so it's 48-6. We do have, that is a 42-point deficit, so we should have a running clock. But we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Funnel cakes at Zaxby's? Sweet! Fried to perfection and dusted with powdered sugar? Sweet! Paired with the caramel sauce that's great for dipping, dunking, or drizzling? Sweet! Woo, saucy! Zaxby's. Zaxby's new Philly. The garlic aioli, grilled peppers and onions with melty cheese make it a Philly. But the chicken makes it Zaxby's. Try it fried or grilled. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Okay, we are back once again to Southern Lee High School Cavaliers Stadium. And, we did talk about, I've done some officiating, and it's not the players. The players are fine. The players are not a problem. It's the abuse that you get from the sidelines and the coaches and the parents. And let me ask you this. Last week I believe there was a sideline warning against you guys, and I don't know if it was the varsity or JV squad, but I remember being at UP and there was a sideline warning.
JV.
And I was asking Coach Nate Cochran, who was calling that game with me, I said, what if you had to give a percentage, what percentage would you give that when there is a sideline warning? Is it a kid mouthing off or is it a coach? And he gave me an answer, and I'd like to kind of get your thoughts on that as well.
Hopefully it's never a kid. And a coach, I don't think, mouths off. They might not be back far enough. There's the line that they need to be behind, and sometimes when you.
But now you're warned on that, so this must be a multiple infraction for them to actually call.
If an official runs into a player or a coach, then they can just throw the flag on you right away. So that's one thing that we've tried to do a better job of. But sometimes in the excitement of the game, you get caught where you shouldn't be, and
yep.
We do have guys that are supposed to do the job with that, but. Again, it's never egregious by any means, and being an official is a tough job.
It really is, and extremely underpaid.
Exactly.
You have to really have a certain personality and mentality to actually go out there and get paid. These guys have regular full-time jobs, and they're coming out and getting paid just a tiny bit of money to come out and.
I think you got to love it to do it. Same as coaches.
So.
I mean, there's not a ton of pay as a coach either, and
absolutely correct.
We take as much, if not more, because sometimes the officials, they're gone for the day, so it's that 3 hours that they have to deal with it. But it's got a chance there. But sometimes you just got to turn the cheek, you got to turn the other cheek, and you understand that you're there for the kids and. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
And, turning the cheek is a lot easier said than done. Is it not, Coach?
Yes.
Here I am.
So much.
Here I am playing bleeding heart for the referees and coaches over here talking about, referees, my foot. What about us coaches?
No,
Yeah, of course.
Sincerely.
Of course. But that pass, Sims' pass, was intended for number 6, Brett Blanks, incomplete. Bring up third down and 11. Sims goes back. And he throws it almost intercepted, but it is incomplete, intended again for Brett Blanks, That'll bring up 4th down and 11.
And I just mentioned that just to say that both officials and coaches have
right,
tough
absolutely.
jobs today.
Of course.
Big time for both. And obviously the officials, you should never take anything from anybody. They're there to do a job and officiate the game. And if they didn't love it, they wouldn't be there. So.
Absolutely. And you have to love it, especially in weather like this. Now, I will say Southern is not going to try to attempt a 11-yard pickup for the first down, so they will punt. However, it looks like Scotland is not going to bite. They're going to stay in a defensive formation in case there is a fake. Would you say that is probably accurate?
I'd say that would be a good assessment, yeah. Yeah, they don't have anybody back. So.
No, right.
Yeah, they're not going after it. They just didn't want to get faked.
So let me ask you this. So, that's a nice bounce. Get there, get there, and that's going to be picked up at about the 12 or 13. So, pinned them deep, kind of, trying to keep it interesting here. But want to thank. Oh well, our producer has stepped out, so we're going to keep going. Yeah, and so that was. I don't know. That was probably with the bounce. I'm going to say that was probably a good 45-yard punt, 50-yard punt maybe. It was a good punt.
Yeah, it was a really good punt.
So you're a head coach here, and this is your conference that you're calling this game. And, watching this game, how much more enjoyable is it in the booth with no fight, no dog in the fight per se, actually being able to watch a football game and enjoy it?
So I'll say this. So the last time I was actually on, that's what I talked about. I did a Lee County, North Brunswick playoff game last year, and the pressure here is so much different, so much less than it is on the sidelines when you're making calls. So it is definitely enjoyable. I appreciate being offered by Tim to come up here. And
well,
do this
on behalf of Tim Copas and Sanford TV and everybody at NFHS and New Image Media, we appreciate you, Coach, for being on. And it's been a pleasure calling the game with you this evening. And our producer, Wynn, and cameraman, Tim Hare. And we have a great team here, and we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule on your bye week to come and spend some time with us here at Southern Lee High School and call this game here tonight. Wish we could have had a better, more competitive game, but, it is what it is, and these kids will learn. Like you said, these kids will learn. They'll get better from this, and like I said, they've tripled all the wins they had last year.
Yeah, they're definitely a better football team than they were last year, and there's no question about that. That's the first thing I noticed when we watched film on them when they played Western in Week 1. They're tough. That's a tough team. And
that's a program that's really struggling right now. Western.
They're down. They're down. They're on their third head coach in the last 5 years too. So
yeah. And the sad thing about Western too is they could be a really good program.
They got some athletes.
They do, and they've got the community, and it's just they're struggling right now. They're struggling. And I remember now when you came in, it was the Tri-County 6, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, so it was a Tri-County 6. So we had Southern, Union Pines, Lee County, Triton, Western Harnett, and Harnett Central.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish we could go back to that.
And there's a chance that could happen when they do the realignment in less than 2 years now.
Correct.
So.
Well, we have a new AD here, not at Lee County, but we have one here. And your AD is, how long has he been?
Coach Hill has been there. This is his 4th year.
Okay.
At Union Pines, and he was.
Was he a downvote in the? Do you know if he supported this realignment in the mixed 3A, 4A?
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't ask him. I just made the assumption that he was whatever he
I
thought
can't
was
imagine
best for
anyone
us.
at UP or Southern Lee looking and saying, "Oh, we're going to be with Scotland, Richmond, and Hoke. Yeah, let's do that. That's a great idea." I can't imagine.
Well, yeah, and again, we're in it, and we just got to make the best of it.
That's absolutely right. So I think it was old Teddy Roosevelt who said, do what you can with what you have where you are.
That's exactly right. So.
And, Tim, I know you went to Clinton High School, but Teddy Roosevelt was one of our presidents. That's our cameraman.
Nice.
Tackle in the backfield there.
Appreciate it. Coach, we'll see you, buddy. Good luck to you. I sent those two over to you. Gotcha. We'll see you guys Thursday. Do you have a separate JV varsity staff, or?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same guys.
Okay.
Some focus a little more on JV.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a 3rd down and 4. Coach Trousdale talking to his fellow coaches in the booth. Nice brotherhood. Good brotherhood of coaches, yeah?
It is, yeah. You got
to stick together.
Well, and the other thing, we talked about the officials earlier. Nobody really wants to be official. Nobody wants to coach.
Yeah.
People don't want to coach anymore
because
of what we talked about.
And the problem with that, Coach, is that when that is the case, you have to have a coach or you cancel a program.
Right.
And if you don't want to cancel a program, you get a coach that's unqualified. And when you have a coach that's unqualified, not only is that disastrous for a program, but it's dangerous because they don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And they put the kids out there in harm's way. And we've seen that. We've seen it from time to time.
Yeah.
So just over a minute to go. Don't forget, stay tuned. We're going to have the First Bank post game immediately following the sound of the whistle here to wrap this game up tonight at Southern Lee High School. Talk a little bit about the game and what's coming up next week for both of these teams. All right, looks like there's going to be no gain on that play. Right at 1 minute to go. Again, want to get a shout out to the public address announcer for Southern Lee, Marshall Spivey, and his spotter tonight, Eli Spivey. I want to give shout outs to those two guys here in this booth. Southern Lee has a nice booth. It's one of the newer schools in the region. Actually, the newest school in the conference.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. 2000, what year was?
5, I believe.
2005.
Yeah, 2005. 2009 was the first graduating class.
Uh-oh.
Fumble picked up by Southern Lee.
Still fumbling
around.
Well,
sure is. So I said 2009 was the first graduating class. 2009 was the first graduating class by a freshman that had went here all 4 years. So, 2005.
That'll be the last play right there.
Yeah, folks, that's the last play. Thank you for joining us tonight. Scotland 49, Southern Lee 6. Southern Lee will go to 3-3, 0-2 in the conference. And Scotland will go to 6-0 and 2-0 in the conference. We're going to be back for the First Bank post-game show right after this.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trougdale, and we are First Bank.
Okay, we're back here with the First Bank post-game show. Not a pretty sight, not a very competitive match, but one that Southern Lee will certainly learn from as they move forward and progress. Unfortunately for Southern Lee, they have another powerhouse that they're going to have to attend to next week at Pinecrest. And so, again, teaching moment here for the Cavaliers, and I'm sure the coaches will work with them, as you mentioned at halftime, very calm, speak slow, and definitely be there with them throughout the week and prepare them for another matchup. They've seen now 2 weeks in a row with Richmond and Scotland, and now going to Pinecrest. So Southern Lee is going to be at Pinecrest next week. And talk to us about Scotland and where they're going to be. I think you're going to have a little interest in that game.
Yeah, so we'll be traveling to Scotland next Friday night at 7:30 for a big football game for us. Obviously, it'll be a big football game for the conference. They're a really good football team. We're going to have to play our best to have a chance to win the game. There's no question. It's good football teams I've seen.
And they are undefeated. So, Union Pines, good luck, Coach. It's been a pleasure being with you tonight. Thanks for being with us very much. So, next week, Southern Lee at Pinecrest, Union Pines at Scotland. We'll see you next week at the NFHS Game of the Week. I'm Don Clayton. This is Coach Jason Trousdale. See you next week.
Bye.